What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Realistic Career Mode. It's episode number 13. And we start today's episode off as we officially begin August and have our first games of the season. Before we get there though, an academy update, and I mentioned him at the start of the last episode, Alan Coughlin. Keep your eyes on this lad because he looks sick, no pun intended. 91 to 94 potential. 63, is it 62, 63 overall? Either way, as soon as we give him a pro deal, we'll check his potential. But I don't think that potential range is decreasing anymore. I think it's set. So, fingers crossed, touch wood, don't want to jinx it, so we'll whisper it. He could have potential to be special. Yes, he could be the first player at the academy with potentially special. I certainly hope that is the case. The Welsh lad who is so physically strong looks absolutely superb. Anyway, heading into the first game of the season, you would have seen the newly promoted teams for Season 2. It was Nottingham Forest in the end that won the playoffs. Watford won the title, I believe, and Norwich finished runners-up. So, yeah, Watford and Norwich going to the Premier League, just like in real life. It's Nottingham Forest that are going up, or it's just they did go up via the playoffs for Season 2. Of course, we did a lockdown career mode with Nottingham Forest last year, so I wonder if The Rock, Mason Watson is in their back line. Probably not, but either way, Forest getting promoted via the playoffs there. Really cool to see. So we'll have some Premier League football at the City Ground once again. And for the first game of the new season, we took on Aston Villa away from home at Villa Park, so facing Dean Smith's side here. This is going to be a really interesting game. First game of the season, a couple of debuts getting handed as well. But the first goal scorer for us this season was an old boy. Well, not an old boy, a young boy, but a guy that's been here since the very beginning. Dwight McNeil giving us the goal. He is, as I mentioned before, one of our hottest young prospects here, or youngish prospects here at Turf Moor. We managed to keep hold of him last year. Hopefully we'll keep hold of him this year as well. I've got no plans to sell him whatsoever. So 1-0 Burnley taking the lead soon after the second half began, and on the stroke of the hour mark we would double our lead, and there it is, a goal on his debut for Callum Clutch Wilson, making it 2-0, doubling our lead with two quick fire goals for Burnley here in the space of 10 minutes. And I mentioned it when we bought him in the last episode. This guy's a pure goal scorer, man. He will get you goals. He is going to get you goals every single season. It's what he does. The average is around 1 in 2. And in the first game, in game 1, he got 2. Yeah, Callum Wilson got his second of the game here, just after the hour mark, I think it was, making it 3-0 in what was a very comprehensive victory. And look, you know, the board have said to us, right, we got to finish in 5th place this season. Don't read too much into our first game of the campaign, man. I love the fact we scored 3 goals in 12 minutes. I thought that was really, really cool. But also, again, as I mentioned before, that can be due to momentum in the game. Sometimes, you know, when things are clicking and when things are in sync for you, it's you know, it's pretty easy to keep the foot on the gas pedal and keep on scoring, basically, is what I'm trying to say. You can just slice through opposition defenses like a hot knife through butter. So, obviously, keep that in mind. Like, that's why it was quite simple for me to score the 3 goals in 12 minutes there. But again, don't read too much into that opening day victory there. You know, we're not going to win every single game 3-0 on the road. It's not going to happen. It's a great start, don't get me wrong, but 5th place is still an incredibly unrealistic target from the board for Season 2. Yeah, I'm not going to get too carried away over the open day victory there. Great win, but even so, my objective hasn't changed. Break into the top 10. Don't break up the top 6, but break into the top 10, and I'll still be satisfied with that. Anyway, second game of the season. First one at Turf Moor, taking on the Foxes. And if we are to be a Europa League standard club, then these are the teams we need to beat, because Leicester are a European standard club now. Of course, we know they've missed out on the top 4 on the final day, but they still qualified for the Europa League for next season. So these are the guys we've got to beat, really, and match up with. Drew the game 0-0 in the game, so not a terrible result there against Brendan Rodgers' side, but again, if we are to qualify for the Europa League, and that's the key here, not just match up but qualify, then we need to win those sort of games. The fact is, I don't think we're there yet. I think it'll be quite unrealistic to expect us to be able to finish in a 5th or 6th place spot this season when you consider the fact there are just so many great teams in this league and so many big teams who, at the moment, we're just not at that level yet. Like, we're getting there, don't get me wrong, we're going to get there slowly, we're going to get there at a realistic pace, but either way, it's going to take some time. But following that, we rejected a bid for Jay Rodriguez from Udinese. We had another bid from him, I think it was Parma, another Italian club wanting Jay Rodriguez, and obviously Athletic Bilbao met his old release clause a few weeks ago as well. Jay Rodriguez right now is in demand, not a surprise, because last season overall, when you count the FA Cup and the Premier League, he was our top scorer. But either way, I still have no plans to sell him just yet. But despite the fact he is in demand right now, at least it's good to know that if he does go, we've got someone to bang in the goals in Chris Wood's absence. Callum Wilson, once again, third goal in 3, starting this game off here at the City Ground against Nottingham Forest, giving us the early lead, though the host would respond here 23 minutes in. Nottingham Forest getting back on level terms. They'll have a tough season to stay up in the Premier League, but 1-1 there, and they find their equalising goal. But despite that being the case, I still felt as though we'd have what it takes to get the goals we need to win this game. And 36 minutes in, this was just good to see. The shoe was on the other foot. How the turntables, yeah. If you watch that FA Cup final, my passing out from the back, costing us 2 goals, possibly costing us the cup final. Look, playing out from the back, especially with your goalkeeper, is hard to do in FIFA at times. Sometimes the passes are incredibly inaccurate, sometimes they're really, really poor. That one definitely was there. A gift for Aaron Connolly's first goal for the club as he made it 2-1 and restored our lead, and then 12 minutes after the restart. Yeah, baby, he's back, and he's back for good. Reece Nelson's first of the campaign gives us a 2-goal cushion, makes it 3-1 as his first goal as a permanent Burnley player, and then with 18 minutes to go, we wrapped up a 4-1 rout here in Nottingham. Josh Brownhill, really sweet strike there into the far corner, making it 4-1 in what was a very comprehensive victory, despite the fact for around 15 minutes we were tied at 1-1. So yeah, really good win there, and again a 4-1 thrashing. And again, if we are to be, I know I sound like a broken record here, but if we are to be a team that can challenge for a European spot, 5th, 6th, and again 7th could possibly give it to you, depending on cup qualifications and cup finishes and European finishes and so on and so forth. If we are to do that, then we need to win those games and win by quite a few goals. It could well come down to goal difference. I still think it's quite unrealistic to target a 5th to 7th place, but if we are to pull off the seemingly impossible, we got to make sure we win those games and win them with ease as well. So 4-1 there, and following that, Reading away, Medeski Stadium, championship side here taking on the Royals in the Carabao Cup, just like last season. The Carabao Cup is not important to me whatsoever. The board don't count it as an objective, so I'm not going to take it too seriously either. Threw the backup team out for the game, but this lad here, 17 years old, I talked about him in the season opener. Adam Burris shows great potential. I think he was the first or second man out of the academy. He scored 2 goals on his debut in this game here. And I've been looking for a youth player in this series that we can get excited about. Coughlin looks like the most noteworthy one, the one to keep your eye on. But either way, on his debut, Burris with 2. Got to say, that guy definitely does a little bit of game time this season if he's able to be a goal scorer in this team. But despite Reading did get back on level terms at one point after Burris made it 2-1. Jay Rodriguez made it 3 right before the break after Longstaff got his first assist of the season as we progress through to the 3rd round of the Cup. And speaking of Jay Rodriguez, there's been major interest all throughout the summer transfer window in Southampton wanting to take him back to St Mary's. This guy can't make his mind up, man. Burnley, Southampton, Burnley, and maybe back to Southampton once again. He just loves these 2 teams. He loves them too much. He's a 2-timer. Jay 2-timer Rodriguez is his nickname now. Can't make his mind up, man. Does he love Burnley, the local lad from Burnley, or does he love the south coast of Southampton? Well, we agreed an £8.25 million deal with Ralph Hasenhüttl, and it looks like he might well be going back to St Mary's for a second stint on the south coast. And to be honest, at 32 years old, I know he just signed a new contract extension, but I wouldn't be against that. To be honest here, guys, I will be honest, I was thinking about selling him this season anyway, but it had to be a realistic destination. Athletic Bilbao? Obviously not. Udinese, Parma? Yeah, can't see it happening, but back to Southampton, he's been there before. Yeah, I guess that's a little bit more realistic, so either way, we'll see what happens there. It's up to him now with the contract talks. And following that, our final game of the episode is going to be against Spurs here, taking on Ryan Mason's side here at Turf Moor. Fell behind very early on into the game. Had a great chance to get back on level terms though right before the break. Hugo Lloris making a good stop here on Callum Wilson, who's been in fire to start the season off, so still down by a goal. Didn't play too badly in this one, but unfortunately this is one of those games where I kind of saw that there was just a bit of a difference between these sort of teams and the team we are right now. Look, we can battle with the big teams every now and then, but we're not one ourselves, and we need to know who we are. We're not a big team. We're not a European standard team, regardless of what the board think. That second goal there was just like, it just sort of like showed the level of class between the two teams. The quick passing and the awareness to sweat that across to Harry Kane there. That happened before I even realised it happened, if you know what I mean. So Spurs went 2 goals up. Conley did get a second goal of the season, second goal for the club to make it 2-1 off the bench to get us back in the game. You know those late goals are common, but couldn't find a second one. Couldn't battle back from 2 goals down. Couldn't find the equaliser. So for the first time this season we do lose. It is Spurs who inflict our defeat on us, and again, Again, sound like a broken record here, but it just goes to show you, whilst we have started the season off quite well, 2 wins in our first 4 and in 5th place right now, we're still not quite at that level just yet, regardless of what the board think. Can we get there come the end of the season? Well, you never know, but it is going to be a heck of a challenge. So that was this episode of Realistic CM, guys. We thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, and if you have, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the next episode of the Realistic CM featuring a transfer deadline day sign-in very soon.